my young Jedi. You will find that it is you who are mistaken about a great many things.
What is going on, Grizz Gang? This is Memphis X with iTalkHoops, and that was Jaren Jackson to the haters. Last night, he and the Memphis Grizzlies escaped with a 108-106 victory over the Denver Nuggets, marking the second win over the reigning MVP in 3 days. I will talk about this win and the reemergence of Jaren Jackson Jr. in a second.
KeyAno.
Grizz gang, go hard. Yeah. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score.
Grizz Gang, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for notifications, and like this video. And share this video with other Grizz fans. That's the best way you can do to help this channel grow and to support your brother Memphis X in growing this channel and getting some more Grizz fan perspective out there in the internet, on the internet, with the internet, however you want to say it. Peace. With Jamal Murray's return from his injury up in the air right now, the Grizz and the Nuggets appear to be headed toward competing for the 3 to 6 slots in the Western Conference playoff race. It just depends on how things go. With Michael Porter seeming to be off to a slow start, and the Nuggets kind of seeming to little be way dependent on the Joker for offense and defense. It looks like the Grizzlies have a chance to be in the same tier as the Nuggets. This game was kind of like the last game. The Grizz got off to a real good start. They got up by over 20 points. First quarter started with Bane, Melton, and Jaren all hitting threes. Melton had this crazy putback off a Bane three early in the first. I think it was like maybe the first minute or two in the game. Kind of set the tone for the game, or for the early part of the game anyway. Jaren also had an early post up to get him started before he even started hitting the threes. And Ja Morant was his usual brilliant self. He didn't really have to turn it on too much in this game. The rest of the team was kind of hitting shots, making shots, and he was distributing the basketball, especially early in the first quarter. It seems like a theme that he's going with, trying to get everybody involved in the game early. And they got Jaren off to a good start with the post-up, and he hit a three, and he seemed to be feeling pretty good out there. And like I tell everybody, like you saw the video yesterday from the last Denver game, the good, the bad, the ugly, and Jaren was the bad. And I will say that I have repeated this over and over again, that the only bad thing about Jaren is his foul trouble. That is it. People can harp on all the other stuff, his lack of scoring in the post. He does that. He can do that. His shooting was off early. That's okay. Jaren has been a career 39% shooter since high school. So I'm not really worried. I'm never going to be worried about his shooting coming around. But he's also been foul prone since at least college. So I would say that's the one thing that's limiting him. And that's the one thing that gives him a kind of a black mark among, regular fans in the NBA, around the NBA. Because when you look at his stats, you see the stats are looking kind of pedestrian, but most of it's because of his playing time. Like I've always said, people have tried to compare Jaren Jackson to Kevin Garnett, and I've always had the comparison of him to Dirk Nowitzki. And you can see that even if you look back on Dirk's early career, you will see that his rebounding was pretty low early in his career, and it developed on. Dirk never became a great rebounder, but he became a functional rebounder for a power forward and eventually for a center in the NBA. And I think Jaren's going to go down the same road, and he'll be a functional rebounder. He'll never be a great rebounder like Jonas or, something like that. He'll never be that. He just doesn't have the instincts for it, but he'll be functional enough And if you saw in this game, at the end of this game, you saw glimpses of it. And it's the reason why I've been telling people from the beginning that Jaren is a 5. He should be a 5. And the Grizz are going to be better when Jaren is the full-time center. And they need to start building the team accordingly. So, also in this game, early in this game, Zaire had his best start ever as a Grizz. He hit his first three-pointers. I think this is the first game where he's hit multiple three-pointers in a game. And it was good to see. After last game, Zaire missed a lot of open, clean looks. And people thought that Ja was getting frustrated with him. And it was the exact opposite. Ja got frustrated with him when he hesitated on shooting, not because he was missing shots. They're not worried about him missing shots. They don't want him to hesitate with shooting. And if you've been watching, he's getting a lot more comfortable. And he's going to take some bad shots. He's a rookie. He's a young rookie. And he is being thrust in there basically as the sixth man of a playoff team until Dylan Brooks gets back. And he's getting his shots up, and I like it. I want him to keep shooting. And like I said in previous videos, for me, there's no evidence that he's actually a good shooter at this point, but I want him to keep shooting because in the future, that's what he needs to do. They got his role reduced to where he's just basically a spot-up shooter, and he plays defense, goes around, makes plays. That's what he does, and he does it pretty well for a skinny 20-year-old rookie with no strength. And, I mean, if you see what he's doing, you should see what the Grizzlies front office saw when they drafted him or they decided to draft him. So that was good to see him make his first 3 corner threes. Kyle Anderson also had another good game last night. I think he was 2 or 3 from three-point line. He was 2 or 3 from three-point line. Didn't have 3 rebounds, but 16 points, 7-11 from the field. Real good game. And let's see, Tyus Jones kept with the pairing of Tyus and Ja. And like I said, it works against Denver because they don't have any scoring guards, and you can get away with it. But we'll see if it works the next game when they play Washington and they're going up against Beal and Spencer Dinwiddie. We'll see how it works then. But, Ja likes it, Tyus likes it, Jenkins likes it. So we're going to keep seeing it for a while, at least until it doesn't work. And also, Tyus didn't shoot that much this game, but he made some key shots in this game. 7 big assists, 0 turnovers, a pure Tyus game. Now, the one thing about this game, like I said, the Grizzlies did have a 20-point lead earlier. They blew that lead. Will the Thrill and the Joker took that lead. It was mostly Will Barton. Will Barton just got hot in the, I think, second and third quarters. Started making some tough shots. Taking it to the hole. Had one crazy reverse dunk with Jaren trailing him. Jokic was hitting some tough shots. Tough threes, deep threes, post moves. He's one of the top 5 players in the game. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's a great player. He's got an argument for being the best player in the game right now. Up there with KD, Giannis, Luka, Ja Morant. The best players in the game. So, yeah. So the game was close after Will Barton had his little run. The game was close going into the fourth quarter. And then Jaren came out and went nuclear in the fourth quarter. Jaren, I think, hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. He came out and hit a 3 early. First bucket of the game was him hitting the 3. Then he hit another 3. Tyus hit a jumper. And, Jaren hit some free throws. Then Jaren makes another 3. So Jaren had 11 points in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and everybody got this notion, got the remembrance of what Jaren Jackson is, or he can be in the future. I mean, all I needed was that game he had against Milwaukee. Well, basically, all I needed was that first Summer League game he had when he was out there just killing folks in the first Summer League game he ever had. So the game against Milwaukee was further testament. The 43-point game he had against Milwaukee with Ja Morant sitting down where they almost beat Milwaukee was further testament to his skill level. And, he was young, man. You just got to give him time. 22 years old, just getting it together. But the big thing about Jaren was in the fourth quarter, Jaren had 5 big rebounds, 5 big defensive rebounds, key rebounds. They were rebounds that were contested. They weren't just rebounds that were falling into his lap. So Jaren had a big fourth quarter, both scoring and rebounding, and that's the stuff you like to see if you're a Memphis fan. It's stuff you got to be excited about as a Memphis fan. And, I'm just going to tell you that this game was great. Until the last fourth, I think after Jaren hit his last 3, I was watching the game, of course, on the Bally app, Bally Sports app, and the app just quit. No more game for us. So I wasn't able to watch the final 5 minutes, the final, 7 minutes of the game, 6 or 7 minutes of the game until later on. I had to watch the replay to see the last parts of the game. But it was well worth the wait. And I'm just imploring the Grizzlies, please, 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 if you can, have Bally's get their stuff together this season, because this is like half the games this season the Bally's app has messed up, or even the Bally's live feed on TV has messed up. So they really need to get it together. You can't have that kind of performance for something. And they, like I said, they were talking about having this as a standalone service where people pay just to get the Grizzlies game. And I'd be like, you know how pissed I'd be if I was paying for this? Whew, never mind. We'll just go to let's go to the stats for the game for the Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson, of course, MVP of the game, started the game. 7 of 14 from the field, 5 of 9 from three-point line, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. I think that was his first free throw missed. 8 rebounds, all defensive, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers, 22 big points. Steven Adams actually had a good game. I can't hate on him this game. He set some killer picks. He got Jeff Green and Aaron Gordon with some kill shots, put them on the ground. That man sets some crazy, crazy screens. I mean, whew. Yeah. So he was 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Still has not missed a free throw. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. It was his best game in a couple of games. Ja Morant, 8 of 16 from the field, over 2 from 3. He was 2 of 7, uncharacteristically, from the free throw line. 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Ja had one of those games where he didn't have to turn it on. I felt like in the fourth quarter he could have turned it on, and he would have turned it on if they needed it. But he only hit 1 shot late in the fourth quarter to kind of get the Grizzlies over the hump, and that was pretty good. Desmond Bane, 6 of 14 from the field, 3 of 7 from three-point line. Pretty good game for him. DeAnthony Melton, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point line. Didn't take a lot of shots, but still had 2 blocks, 1 steal, 3 assists, contributed. Kyle Anderson, 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from three-point line, 3 rebounds and an assist. Tyus Jones, I already gave you his stats, 3 of 4 for 7 assists, 2 rebounds, no turnovers. And Zaire Williams played the most minutes off the bench, 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover, 11 points. It was his best game as a Grizzly, his best game as a rookie. And he looks to be getting more and more comfortable. And I'm going to tell you, the only thing that's stopping him from being good is that shot falling. Because once that shot falls and he gets more confidence and he runs around and he makes a lot of plays, he gets his hands on a lot of balls and he plays some good defense for a rookie. And you have to really watch him because he gets to a lot of spaces, and sometimes he gets there. Like he got this steal. I think it was in the third quarter. He got the steal, got to the ball, and he turned around and basically Michael Porter Jr. just took the ball from him because he wasn't strong enough. He's got to play with more force with the ball, and that's kind of why he doesn't do too much with dribbling. They kind of limited him. They kind of have him limited with creating off the dribble right now. And, we have to remember Desmond Bane was the same early in his rookie season, and he was an older rookie. So, these are things that people got to grow into. So if I was as a Grizzly fan, I am very optimistic about the future of Zaire Williams. Once again, the Joker did some things to us: 34 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Will Thrill Barton, he got us this game: 26 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. If he would have I had him for 15 points on the last game and he didn't get it, killed my parlay. But I'm gonna let him slide because he's from Memphis. And Michael Porter Jr. had 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 of 12 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point line. And I'm just going to tell you, I don't know what's going on with him. He doesn't look right. And it's not just physically. He's just not aggressive shooting the ball. So hopefully he gets it together. I want him to be as good as possible, especially when they're not playing the Grizzlies. I like to see him play. I like his shot, like everything, his game, so would like to see him get better. I think the next game is Friday versus the Washington Wizards. On the road, the Washington Wizards are one of the better teams in the NBA. As far as record-wise goes, the Washington Wizards are now 5-3. Same record as the Grizzlies. So that should be a good test, especially on the road. I did get a chance a couple of years ago to go to their arena and catch the Grizzlies there. And that was a good little experience. They have a nice little arena, downtown arena. But we're going to see if Jaren Jackson can keep up his stellar play, because the last game he was good. He just got in foul trouble. This time he continued it, so he was able to have the fourth quarter because he wasn't in foul trouble. And that's how it goes. If he keeps the fouls down, he's going to produce. It's just how it's going to be. So this is Memphis X. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Like this video and share this video with other Grizz fans. Help us get the word out there about this channel. Make sure you subscribe, please. Thank you. Peace.